Three, two, one. Welcome to Oz, bitch! Here with me today, I have my good friends JB the Porg.
I love porks.
And then that other guy, sexiest man alive, David.
I am Dave Id, also known as Dave.
Today we will be discussing Into the Spider-Verse.
After 2 weeks of trying to film this,
Yeah, and 2 months
Yeah.
after the movie
our
came out.
weekly series.
Woo! Yeah, work.
We're we're finally doing our pilot episode. How you doing, buds?
Alright, so where do we start?
Okay.
I guess
I have no clue.
No, I have an idea. Okay, so there's one thing people complain about from Spider-Verse. The trailers that went with the movie.
Really?
What trailers what trailers did you guys get?
I saw the teaser trailer and the
Oh.
first trailer that reveals.
I can-
No, not the trailers for the actual movie. I'm talking about the trailers.
Yeah,
you saw
we're talking about the trailers at the theater.
in theaters.
Oh.
I have no clue. I cannot remember. I know I got an Aquaman trailer. I watched that right after, actually. JB has a lot to say about it.
I have my feelings about Aquaman. It's quite the experience I had.
It was a fun James Wan movie.
When they go to Africa, they play the Africa cover.
That's how you know.
Okay, let's talk about Spider-Verse.
Okay. What
Yeah.
trailers did I got to see?
Yeah, 'cause, I saw an Illumination movie trailer, so it's like when I saw the actual movie. I'm like,
Same.
Wow, I can't believe how good animation actually is.
I think I got a trailer for Sing 2 or whatever. No, Secret Life of Pets 2.
Oh, you know what I got? You know how Keck
What,
was
what?
talking about that movie they're making about his school with the boy falling in the lake?
Oh my god.
I got that
so
trailer. Oh my
bad.
god. And you know, he was saying how
Kid who would be king.
yeah,
They
you know,
got
he
the
was
weird
saying,
trailer of the guy clapping and creating a million swords.
What?
and you know how he was saying the mom is a huge jerk in real life.
Uh-huh.
She's portrayed by the fattest actress ever.
God, I
It's
hate
so
that.
weird.
That movie's got... I want that movie to be terrible. Because it will be, I just want it to never come back. I never want to see it again.
Okay, so
Yeah.
that's the biggest negative of Spider-Verse out of the way. Any other complaints?
Yeah. I have a complaint for the Broly movie.
Oh.
One of the trailers was for what is it? Wonder Park, which looks kind of bad.
Nickelodeon.
I see.
Oh my god! Yeah, let's
Well,
move on to actually Spider-Verse finally.
Yeah, so,
after
I feel
a
like
month.
the first thing to go is negatives of Spider-Verse, just because I feel like there's not that many, so we'll get through this.
I
section
don't really
quickly.
have one. I kind of have one that I could save for later. So for context, I'm the comic nerd here. I know things,
Oh, okay.
and
JB, you actually have stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit of complaints.
All right, let's
Yeah.
go through those.
But Dave, what are you going to say first? Because
I'm just gonna say one minor complaint that it's actually it's more of a strong suit of this movie that some people may not be happy with is certain changes they made to Miles' story, and they don't want to retread the same territory. It's good. I like that they didn't, but some people might not resonate with the certain changes to his origin.
Okay, I can respect that.
Yeah.
All right, JB, what you got?
Okay, so we are making this podcast, I assume, as a spoiler talk, because it's been 2 months since the movie came out. It's coming out.
Spoiler alert here. Spoiler alert here.
Yeah, it's coming out.
It's been enough
We haven't
time.
said any single spoilers.
Yeah.
Since I think.
It's coming out on Blu-ray next month, so if you haven't seen it yet,
Oh, I want to buy that actually.
you can buy it then. But anyway, I think my biggest complaint is that the third arc didn't feel as strong as the first 2 ones, because I think that the first 2 arcs, with Miles, finding out these Spire people,
Does the second one end with "What's Up, Danger"?
No.
I'd say it
The
does.
second one ends for me when Miles' uncle dies.
Oh yeah.
And after Miles' uncle dies, there is this montage of Miles like being like down because of what happened. But,
Definitely, I
yeah.
get you.
But what happened with that montage is that they played like a Neil Way song, and I was
Oh yeah.
like, oh god, it was like a song like "I'm not scared" or something, and I was like,
That was not Lil Wayne.
No,
That was not Lil Wayne.
I've actually have heard
That is
people
not
complain
Lil
about
Wayne.
that song.
What was the?
That was actually one of the better songs. I liked that a lot.
Yeah, but I don't think it fitted well with the scene. I think it was very on the nose. Like,
Yeah,
It was probably just put
really
there
fit
because
that
they were
well.
like obligated.
Yeah,
from
it was like you must feel sad.
I'm not scared
Yeah,
of the dark.
yeah.
Yeah, it is Lil Wayne. My bad.
Yeah.
Wait, it's Lil Wayne featuring X. Yeah,
Yeah, so
that was a good song though.
yeah,
It didn't fit that well, like specifically. But I one complaint that I didn't remember is that I did. It kind of doesn't feel like it fits when they have just like the voiceovers from flashback, rather than like actual like showing a flashback. It's just a voiceover, but it's still a flashback. You know,
when
I felt like that worked.
when he's
they
going,
kind of felt out of place.
when he's going to jump, it's like you
Yeah.
need to do a leap of faith, right? That or
It's a leap of faith. Yeah, like all that crap.
yeah,
Oh, you mean that? No, I kind of get what you're saying. Like, I feel like when the voices are there, it kind of feels like they're assuming the audience is too stupid to remember what just happened. Because that was like
It just felt really out
5
of
minutes
place.
ago.
yeah.
Yeah,
no,
it didn't really
like-
need to be there.
It
He's
would have
going-
been better if there was a bit of internal monologue.
with Miles when he was like walking
Mhm.
down the school and he was like, "Why am I hearing my voice?"
Well, I felt like that was
No.
more of a tribute just to comics and like how those work and like how the character's always thinking to themselves.
Nah.
Yeah, but like I was thinking
That
kind of
part
internal
I
monologue,
see.
like, yeah, it's time. I'm gonna go for it. They need me, bro. I'm ready. Something hyping himself up before the jump. That would have been sick.
I feel like you don't really want to have internal because like one of the rules of writing is unless
Yeah.
it's like necessary, you don't want to make the characters talk to themselves because otherwise it's like
it's
you want
very-
to.
It's very out
Yeah.
of place in most cases, but I think with Spider-Man it
Honestly, I
works.
think it feels
Like,
more out of
it's
place just
like-
to have flashbacks.
It's like it's like let's say your character's sad, instead of them saying I'm so sad, maybe you'll have them like looking down at the ground and you like
Oh,
frame
of course not.
tears on their. It's like that. You want to show like what a character's feeling through action rather than just dialogue.
Yes. It reminds me of one of my favorite strong points of the film. They establish early that he starts off unable to really control his cloaking. It
Yeah.
starts as like a fear response, and then you can see him in the fight with the Kingpin for a sec. You can actually see him like flashing into the cloak for a second.
Oh,
Like,
and
you
then
can-
when
Yeah, you
And
can
when he
tell
finally-
he's scared because they've already established that as a fight or flight response.
The movie is filmed with a lot of needle details that once you see it again, you're
That
like,
was-
oh,
Dude, I saw
Yeah.
that immediately. That was my favorite thing about it. They
Yeah.
did that
Oh.
so well.
you told me your favorite part about it was the first joke, the comic parody one.
That was easily the best joke in the movie, though. There's a few jokes that I really want to go over because they're so cool. But the first one is in the opening credits. It goes, Sony Pictures Animation in association with Marvel, approved by the Comics Code Authority. It's pretty much, the Comics Code Authority existed to keep comics PG back in like the 60s and led into the
And
Silver
that's
Age.
why
that
Peter
we see as
Parker
Marcelli.
dies.
Yeah, because
One of
he's
my
dead.
favorites.
The Comics Code Authority killed him. Also, his phone, on his phone, I believe he had Steve Ditko on there as well, but I did remember seeing Brian Michael Bendis, which is the creator of Miles himself, in his
you get-
contact on his phone.
Did you guys see all the 42s?
Yeah, I saw a lot of them.
Yeah, like the 42 on the Spider Life universe and everything.
I believe that was a reference originally to, it might have been a reference originally to that, but it is a reference to the comic.
Lord and Miller, they are educated gentlemen.
Yes,
One of my
yes,
favorite
they are.
smaller things
They,
was
they didn't come up with that, though. It was already, that was the number on the spider, I believe, already in the comics.
really, wow.
Unless I'm remembering that wrong. I can check my facts right now.
I really liked, like, for one of his last cameos, I feel like the Stan Lee cameo in this movie kind of perfectly encapsulated what made him so endearing.
Yeah, it was very significant in a way.
Because he's like, I knew that guy. What else did he say? Like,
Yeah.
anyone can wear the
Anyone
mask.
can wear
And then
the
you see the
mask.
part where it flashes to the no refunds, and it's like, anyone. And it's like, that.
I think in
that
the game
scene
it
is
said. I believe in the Spider-Man PS4 it was 7 now.
It was
just 7.
It was
Spider
7 on the Spider.
Ah.
But yeah, I've got a picture. There it is. 42. I
Yeah,
love
but-
that book, by the way. Those books are great.
Hitchhikers, I've read the first 2. I still need to read the rest. Yeah, but
definitely do it.
that Spider, not the Spider, the Stan Lee cameo. I feel like that, like, if it weren't for the other movies, that would have been like the perfect bookend
Yeah, but
for like all his
Definitely.
cameos.
he's gonna have one for Captain Marvel and Infinity.
Anyone
And
can wear the
Endgame.
mask.
Yeah, and Endgame, and maybe the new Spider-Man
Maybe
as well.
Far From Home. Yeah.
Depending if they already filmed it.
I'm pretty sure they filmed it. I think it was wrapped up in October.
All right. So the only complaints about the movie I kind of had, and I had to struggle to think of this. I feel like some of the villains, like, they don't get enough of an introduction.
Yeah,
Like-
they're just there. The Prowler
Like-
is
Who's
A
the guy with
star.
who's the guy with the gun with Kingpin? Like,
The guy with the
I don't
blue skin?
remember what his I don't even remember his name. No, is
Yeah,
that
like-
Tombstone? That might be Tombstone.
I feel like they could have done a better job establishing that. That was really the only big issue I could see. And like, I had to think for like 10 minutes
I mean-
just to think of a negative.
It's totally fair not to know Tombstone. He is so low key. Yeah, Matt Gargan is in the thing as well, and he looks completely different. He's based on the Ultimate Universe, of course. But like, no one would recognize him really. There was the female Doctor
Shocker.
Octopus that I do not
Yeah.
remember because I am not read up with Ultimate Universe.
They did not show her in the trailers whatsoever.
Yeah, that was a surprise.
Yeah, it was a nice twist. I remember Shocker was in it because he was one of the only ones who actually got a name drop.
Shocker?
Yeah,
Possibly.
Shocker.
I don't remember that right now. I didn't watch it a second time.
The Shocker was in Homecoming, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah,
He was
Both
not
of them too.
really. They killed him off in Homecoming.
but a new guy took over.
They killed him off, and then someone else became the new Shocker. They killed off the actual character, and then someone else did it. No, I don't think Shocker was in Spider-Verse.
What else is there to talk about?
Okay, so I think one of the biggest positives of this film as a whole is that it treats the idea of Spider-Man, and I wanted to see
Yes.
how you guys felt about that, like how the interpretation of Spider-Man in this movie compares to other adaptations. I know Dave has played the Spider-Man PS4 game, so like, how would you compare this interpretation to that game?
I'd say he's much more personally himself, really. Miles is a very unique kid,
Yeah.
and he has a lot of personality and expressive behavior that you won't see in Peter, for example. But Peter from Spider-Man PS4 isn't even young Peter. He's older Peter. He's adult Peter, which is also really fun to watch.
I mean, in the game, like, you see Spider-Man, like, he has to deal with trying to balance out his normal life and his
Oh yes,
his
of course.
superhero life, and
That's one of the core themes.
and he also has like to deal with sacrifice. I know everyone who has
Yes.
played the game or at least seen a playthrough of the game, like I did, knows what happens.
Even when it hurts like hell.
Yeah, I think this movie did that pretty well, considering that it only has
The-
like 2 hours to do
With,
that.
with Peter Parker? Like,
No, Miles.
No, the thing is, some of the best Spider-Man villains are the ones that are personal to Peter, you know?
Yeah, that's
Which is one of the reasons like Dr. Octopus is so good, and especially in this game, he was really good.
yeah, and then
It has to
Vulture's
be
good in
personal.
Homecoming because of that.
Yes, it has to be personal to mean something. And it's personal in a very different way for Miles. It's personal because he watched Peter die and did nothing. It's personal because he's gonna like destroy the whole city, and that's his city, man.
And
the
don't
way he
forget the
views
big
his
one.
city is special because he knows all the people in it.
Yeah, but Kingpin was also the guy who killed his uncle.
Yes, of course, too.
Like,
That made it even
every-
more personal.
Every bad thing that had happened to him that day was because of the Kingpin.
It just kept getting more and more personal as it went on.
The reason,
really works.
the reason Spider-Verse,
The confrontation itself wasn't even personal between Miles and the Kingpin. The confrontation was personal because of things the Kingpin had done to Miles. Rather,
yeah,
Kingpin had his own goals. He wasn't
Yeah.
fighting for personal reason.
But
Only Miles was.
don't you find it a little weird that Doctor Octopus didn't tell the Kingpin that even if his family was to be back, they won't eventually die out because
she
of...
probably just wanted to make chaos, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I
You got the
guess.
sense from the movie.
I don't
Kinda crazy.
exactly understand her motivations other than blowing stuff
Science,
up,
advancement, chaos.
advancing no matter the possible consequences. I do find it strange. Okay, so in the original Spider-Verse comics, there was the concept of the Inheritors, and these are pretty much immortal beings that they eat spider totems. They have to kill spider totems and eat them pretty much for longer life. And spider totems are different spider people throughout the multiverse. For example, Peter himself is a totem. Superior Spider-Man, he was a totem at the time. And they don't really touch on that here because Spider-Verse is whack. But they do say that I don't remember exactly why, but as soon as they show up at the facility, she wants to kill them to further the research. Apparently, all they have to do is kill a few spiders. It's something like that. They said, and they kind of tried to shoehorn that theming in, while it doesn't really work.
If she killed us, so she was trying to become a god?
No, they were already that way. But I don't understand any of her motivations. And they tried to shoehorn the concept of having their lives on the line because it matters to them that they need to kill the spider people.
Can I say a thing?
I'm checking
Okay,
the
so
scripts right now just so I can get details right.
can I say my thing?
Sure.
Yes.
Okay, good. So Spider-Verse stresses Miles' individuality more than any other version of Spider-Man. And the reason for that, I think, is because the entire theme of everyone can wear the mask. So I feel like that's why Miles' story is way more individualized than someone like Peter, where it feels more of a struggle about, Spider-Man 1, great movie, but that feels more of a struggle, about man's morality rather than the actual, person himself. And that's, so I feel like Spider-Verse makes a unique Spider-Man because of that, because they stress that individuality.
Yeah, I think I love about this movie and about Miles' Spider-Man is that when he becomes the Spider-Man, when he has to jump off the building and he doesn't feel like he's the same Spider-Man as Peter Parker. He doesn't use the webs as usual. He is more of a runner. He runs across buildings.
I love that.
Yeah, on top of cars.
Yeah.
So it's
much more of a parkour style than swinging.
Yeah, it's visually distinctive from the normal Spider-Man we have seen for years now. I mean, you see Raimi's Spider-Man or MCU's Spider-Man. He uses the webs quite a lot, but Miles is more of parkour, like you were saying.
More of the superhuman reflexes than the gadgets. That's cool.
And I also like how he himself made the suit his own. He had to paint it.
Yeah. My mom says one of her problems with, for some reason to her, some superhero movies just die on her whenever she sees the characters sue. Because she feels like that's just an unmanly thing to do. So she really likes how, how Miles' suit was handled.
It felt more, I don't know, this is more of a personal complaint because I find it pretty weird that Miles designed a suit so stylish in such a short amount of time.
He's spray painted old costume and then has his jacket over it pretty much. He just spray painted a shirt and has a mask.
I'd say emotional motivation from both his dad and uncle, plus the fact he was already a super skilled.
He was already an artist. Yes.
Yeah, he was already good at art.
Yeah, I guess.
So it's not say Peter Parker who just magically sews the suit all on his own.
Yeah, in the Raimi trilogy.
In some incarnations, yes.
Where he's
just an extremely smart kid.
Yeah, but
low-key, Peter is on par with the likes of Mr. Fantastic, even.
Wow. Yeah.
He's up there. One of the smartest people alive. Yeah, I was saying, I was trying to talk about how one of the ways that Doc Ock tried to manipulate Kingpin, she said, all you have to do is kill a couple spiders, and the collider will bring your family back, as many families as you want. And that means...
I felt like that was more of a just, they're in the way and they're going to stop us. So if we just get rid of them, then no one will stop us, rather than that.
But the way she's manipulating him is trying to imply that it has to do with the collider. If they kill them, they can get samples or something.
That's not how I took it when I watched the movie.
I know, but it just felt like they were trying to shoehorn in the idea of the inheritors.
They're like only... Like, I didn't think that at all, neither did any of my family. I feel like...
The thing is, they have even more stuff exactly from the comics, because they have the web of life, which you see in, like, the multiverse. It's like a web between the different worlds or whatever it looks like. But they don't even name it, they don't even touch on it, but it's there.
Yeah, but still, I feel like that isn't necessarily just an idea they tried to pull from the comics. That's just...
Not exactly, but it feels like they tried to...
Like, it doesn't really feel like a shoehorn in. It just...
I know, but, like...
that's one way to interpret the line, where it probably wasn't meant to be interpreted.
She was trying to just manipulate Kingpin to keep him...
kill the Spider-Man
doing what she wants.
Stop them. Yeah.
Yeah, like, that's the actual intention, but it sounds like she's implying something to him that it would help them if they were dead as well, rather than just stop them from hindering them. Which it kind of reminded me of that, is what I was trying to say.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. I don't think the Dr. Octopus in this film was that primordial to the story. He was more like the scientist that makes things happen.
It's the excuse, really.
Yeah.
It's the excuse that they pulled it off.
Yeah, and it was fun, because before seeing this movie, I had no idea.
Yeah, it's Kingpin that pays for it. Actually, Norman Osborn was involved as well, except he died at the beginning.
Oh, well, Norman in this movie?
Yeah,
because it's based off the Raimi trilogy universe. So he died in Spider-Man 1.
Kinda. But like you could see him go into the Super Collider.
Oh.
The giant hulking monster.
Oh, that was Green
Goblin.
Oh
yeah,
that's Ultimate Green Goblin.
Oh, I thought you meant like Norman Osborn, the human died.
It is Norman Osborn still.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
There is no difference.
Yeah.
He's always Green Goblin. You can't get that out of him. Part of his character. And yeah, you see him get shoved into the Super Collider right at the beginning.
Yeah, he's dead.
He's very dead.
Anyway, what did you guys think of the writing in general? Like, the interactions between characters, like Peter Parker and Miles and Nader.
Interaction was very organic most of the time.
Yeah, it felt like that. I think the only characters that didn't have like much screen time were the other Spider-Man, being Spider-Nord, Penny Parker, that Twitter naps for some reason.
I don't really... I have a nitpick about that. Shoutouts to UPS.
I don't really care about
Link FedEx in the description.
Yeah, everyone
I don't really care about Penny Parker, but I like the original comic interpretation of the character, which was more like an Evangelion parody. It was written by Gerard Way.
Yeah,
and she goes
like
to
that
school with the Evangelion people, if I remember right.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's more normal than
character interaction. I feel like
a tiny anime girl and a chibi robot.
Character
interaction, literally a Spider Eva.
Yeah. Yeah, but in this
instead of being like Overwatch Diva,
in this movie it was more like, look, it's the anime girl. And she didn't do much.
Kawaii-ness.
Yeah. Well, yeah, she said kawaii in her first line, I think, or something.
Possibly,
yeah,
I don't remember.
I don't remember.
Let me search it in the script.
Yeah. I don't think Fildor and Chris Miller would have written kawaii, or maybe they did.
Search.
What
I ain't
is-
seen it yet, bro. All right, let me see.
Let's see. Into the Spider-Verse.
What's Penny's first line? Scroll all the way to number 1 of 50, apparently 50 times that Penny is written in the script. Happening. Oh my god. It's counting happening as having the word penny in it. Oh my god. Oh my
It's
god.
happening.
Stop.
Spider-Verse.
No. Hi guys, konnichiwa, hajimemashita, yoroshiku.
Yeah. Like,
That's the line.
was that necessary?
Yamashite.
Because when that line showed up at my screening, like I could feel people cringing at my side. They were like,
I could feel the weeb.
Yeah, that was.
They're like, oh no, I already didn't like the design change. Oh no.
Yeah.
They really did change her completely to be a kawaii, and then they go to, please no.
I mean,
She was like a parody of some gritty anime.
I mean, I never cared about her. I never cared when her robot dies. Like, whatever.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
The robot died, but the spider inside it is fine.
Yeah.
So
So
no
that's what
real
matters.
problem.
Yeah. Spider Nor. I wanted to see more of him, but he was
Yes,
more like
he was so funny.
yeah, he was more of a comic relief, and I was like,
He was the
could you do
best.
more? And-
Sometimes
He
I
was- he was
sometimes
there
I
so
let
Nicolas
burn
Cage
down to
could
my
be in the
fingertips
movie.
just to feel something, anything.
Yeah, the introduction of every Spider People's backstory was pretty entertaining, especially when they
Mhm.
introduced the tree, because it was like, okay, we have to move on to the
Fire.
next one, and then
Yeah.
I think the only character I never cared about, because with Penny Parker, they tried to make me care about her, but I never did. But the other
Spider Pig exists.
yeah, Spider Ham,
Spider Pig. I just messed up. Spider Ham exists.
Spider Ham.
A
yeah.
lot of people are major fans of Spider Ham.
I guess because
exists.
he won't have like this unique interpretation of Spider-Man in his comics.
And he breaks physics too.
Yeah.
He breaks the laws of physics.
I
I
have
don't
a
know if he
Jewish-
would actually technically be considered a reality warper. Probably not a meta manipulator. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
because he levitated at one point in this movie.
Yeah, I have a Jewish friend where it's like his sister actually boycotted the movie because Spider-Man.
How? What? She was that mad? She was like, "How could they?"
Yeah,
That's not kosher.
my friend said he was fine with it because Spider-Ham's an iconic character.
Yeah, I guess.
She is extremely Jewish. Oh my gosh.
What?
He's talking about his Jewish friend.
Yeah, you know Jewish
Oh.
people don't eat pork, right? It's like
Oh,
pig
I
is
forgot.
animal.
I'm sorry. Completely forgot about that.
And
I can-
kosher, bro.
Yeah, I can see why they wouldn't find that offensive.
Yeah. I still think it's funny, though.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm not really connected to the
Yeah.
character at all myself. I'm not attached.
I mean, you shouldn't be attached in a way. He was more of a comic relief, but I don't think
Hmm.
his jokes were funny.
That was kind of the point. That's kind of
Yeah.
the point. It's all just cheesy crap and slapstick comedy. And meanwhile, Spider-Man Noir is kind of the foil to that. He kind of works. No, he works more as a foil to Penny, which is why they kind of are teamed up in the final. They end up working together a lot there. They do work as foils to each other because she's the cute one and he's the extremely serious one. And so I did kind of like seeing them interact, and like the contrast was fun.
Yeah, it was definitely fun. Like the interaction between the Spider people was mostly great, but when we
Mhm.
had scenes unknown with Spider Pork, when the bad guy was like going to punch him, it's like, you have a problem with cartoons? I was like, okay, sure. So
Spawns a hammer out of nowhere.
yeah,
I feel like the thing about character interaction is like it's like I thought it was fine, but I feel like what sets it apart is just how the relationships build.
Yes.
Like you can have good dialogue, but just the way like Peter gradually warms up to Miles
and
and
Gwen
stuff
too.
like
From being
yeah, and like
scared of talking to him.
like Gwen and Miles talk to each other and like how their friendship grows. I feel like
And
the
being
payoff
low-
at the end is what
and
sets
him
it
being
apart.
literally suicidal.
Oh, you mean Peter B. Parker? Or-
Yes.
Yeah, quite the interesting story for Spider-Man. I knew there was like
At one point, he wanted to stay back, and that's like, okay, sacrifice and all that. But earlier he said it would be better off if he was dead, so he was actually suicidal the whole time, and
Yeah.
like Miles and gang ended up being able to give him strength as well.
You know, he had a character arc in this movie, and that was good because he had to like face up Mary Jane at the end because he like had a divorce and everything.
Yes.
I find that quite interesting to see a Spider-Man who has gone so far in life that his role as Spider-Man has affected his life to a point where he doesn't really care anymore. He's like,
Yeah.
whatever.
His life is completely fallen apart. What was it? There was I think it's the Earth X series, which is kind of similar.
Yeah, isn't that...
There was one point where like
that DC?
Everyone, what?
The Earth X.
There might have been a DC arc as well, though.
I know
that
that
the same, but
there is
like a limited.
a story.
It was
where
a part of. It was the universe with. Oh my gosh, we keep talking to each other. Go ahead.
I know
Go ahead.
there is a story where Spider-Man's daughter, like, she gets in trouble and he gets to get out of retirement and he's own fat and has like to buy a Spider-Man suit. Yeah, is that the story you're talking about?
Yeah, you're thinking of Crisis on Earth X, which is a DC thing, but yeah, Earth X is also a DC thing, and Crisis on Earth X was from the show, the CW shows, but Earth X already existed. Yeah, I was talking about Earth X from Marvel, and that is the story you're actually talking about. His daughter he's like at home. His daughter's taken up the role of Spider-Woman. He's just let himself go. Is in fear of everything. The world itself has gone to crap as well for so many reasons. Specifically because like literally everyone on the planet has powers. It's part of like it's the first of like 3 different books in like Earth X, something X, another one, and it's a really good series. But first, in Earth X, you see him go from his daughter is the only way she has powers is because she's bonded with the Venom symbiote, and she's using it as it should be, rather than as a corrupted symbiote. And the thing is, he's still in fear of it manipulating her, and keeps trying to get her to give it up. And he's totally in fear, resigning to it, and going out and fighting as well in a Spider-Man costume. And on his chest is a patch that says, "I am Spider-Man."
Wasn't it I am Peter Parker, or I don't remember?
I'm pretty sure it might have been.
Okay, so from all the movie adaptations of Spider-Man, which one would you call the worst one? There is the Mark Webb one. There is the
Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, because
Mark Webb.
I just found this image, and I think it's relevant for the discussion.
Japanese Spider-Man is better. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Hey, what
Give
do
me
you...
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I want Spider-Man back.
Yeah. What do you guys think of Toby? What's the name? Tom Holland.
I feel like
he's a good young Spider-Man.
I feel like Holland's the better Spider-Man, but Maguire has the better movies.
Yeah.
Excluding 3. That's what I feel like it is.
Honestly, I'm on the fence about the Raimi trilogy.
Yeah.
On one hand, there's the idea that it's terribly... They're like bad but really good movies. They're bad in certain ways, but they're awesome movies and critically great in other ways.
They have stupid stories, but they have great directing.
Yes.
I've only seen Spider-Man 1, but like I watched it one time, and that's... Besides Spider-Verse, that's my favorite Spider-Man movie now.
When you guys call Spider-Verse...
Raimi's a really good director, that's the thing.
When you guys call Spider-Verse your favorite Spider-Man movie to date?
Yes, by far.
Yeah, I can see that. And from the live-action ones, which one would you call like your favorite?
Spider-Man 1, because I haven't seen 2 yet.
Yeah, 2 is a great movie.
2 is really... I like 1 because it does this thing where at the start of the movie, Peter and Norman are given equal screen time, and then the shots always transition eyes. They both get their powers at the same time, but the difference is Peter like uses his powers, like he learns to be responsible with them, which is why he grows to be a hero. Whereas Norman uses them for his own personal gain to try to help his family, which ends up making him a villain. Like that dynamic is really... Yeah, that's what sets apart Spider-Man 1 for me from like other Spider-Man movies and even other movies in general. I like that dual storytelling it does. I like the ending of Spider-Man.
But like it's also written really bad in my opinion.
Yeah, Mary Jane is the worst part about those movies. And
she's just terrible.
She's selfish and awful.
Yeah, very selfish.
Yeah, she is. Like in Spider-Man 1, whenever Peter uses his powers around Mary Jane, she gets freaked out. She doesn't fall in love with Peter because she gains powers. She ends up falling in love with Peter just because of the things he says on his own, which is another thing I really liked. Like the detail that went into that.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, from all the intention and quirkiness this Raimi trilogy has, sometimes this quirkiness can take away from it. Like,
Yeah.
how can Mary Jane not recognize Peter's voice? Because he doesn't even try to change it. It's like,
Yeah.
I'm Spider-Man.
No,
Yeah.
Spider-Man tried to change their voice in a movie.
Yeah, no, Tom Holland tried once when he was
Yeah, I said
interrogating the
it.
guy.
That was hilarious too.
Yeah, he's like intimidation mode. Yeah, and I think, Miles
This is
Morales.
my voice.
Yeah, Miles Morales did the same thing in this movie when he was talking to his dad. He's like, "Thank you,
Yeah.
officer," or something like that.
I love you.
I love it. Yeah, that was a fun scene. I like Miles' interaction with his dad.
Honestly, Spider-Verse is one of the most fun movies
Yeah, it's
I've ever seen.
It's a really fun movie to watch. Yeah.
The thing is, I think there's a lot more about. I want to mention the difference between like the Raimi trilogy and I'll say the prequel trilogy for Star Wars,
What? Okay, sure.
because they're both movies that like people love and people hate, depending on who you're talking to. The thing is, prequels used to be widely hated at release,
Uh-huh.
like almost everyone, and now there's tons and tons of people that love the prequels and genuinely consider them to be amazing movies.
I find that I think it's more of an ironic thing. I think people
Yeah.
I think
No,
yeah. Because
Yes,
a lot of people.
It's
no,
an ironic thing. Oh my god!
bro.
Have you seen episode 2? It is one of the.
No one can defend episode 2. No one defends episode 2. I'll defend episode 2 because I actually kind of like it.
I can defend 1, and I know 3 has some. Yeah, but no.
Three is awesome. 3 is actually okay.
3 has
But
cool,
like there are parts of all of them that are extremely stupid in the writing department.
yeah, because George
And-
Lucas made the draft like 2 months before shooting.
Yeah.
idea of how unpopular the opinion is of liking. Kekaroni likes the prequels more than any other Star Wars movie.
Exactly.
Kekaroni. Mr. Unpopular. Prequels are not. The prequels are not the Raimi trilogy. Like,
They are not. But I have seen
it's
a lot
like
of
for
people
every
honestly
10 people,
defend
there's
them.
8 people who hate the prequels, 2 people who like them. Raimi, it's more like 7 people who like the movies than 2 people who hate
It's
them.
mostly really people defend episode 3. There's a lot of weird acting and sometimes strange writing choices,
Yeah.
but it's still seen as a solid film.
Yeah, because it needs up
And
to
there are
something
things
better.
that-
So-
yeah.
Oh.
I don't know. It's the weird thing. I just wanted to touch on that because I was thinking about it. You know.
I think that has more to do with
I,
age rather than.
I think
the
Yeah.
actual movie.
Like-
when you're talking about that, the new Spider-Man movies now get not the new, the Raimi trilogy now gets a little bit of hate. Do you mean that in?
I mean, like, it does deserve to be criticized for things,
Yeah,
but I
definitely.
kind of been seeing like the opposite for the prequels.
Maybe because
Like
most
a
of
lot more people appreciate it than they did back in the day.
because most of the people who watch the prequels as kids now can like be opinionated on them. I mean,
Yeah, it's like how
Yeah.
people are suddenly saying Space Jam is a good movie. It's just nostalgia bias.
Yeah.
yeah, because
And to
I
justify that further,
Thing
Tech
is-
also likes Space Jam.
I mean,
Thing is, I'm pretty sure we're also going to see that in like 10 years. We're also going to be seeing that for the sequel trilogy.
for Star Wars.
Yeah, we
we're
probably
seeing
will.
it right now. People love the sequel trilogy right now, and people are
I
criticizing
don't love it.
right now.
It deserves a lot of criticism.
Yeah, definitely.
I have been enjoying it so far.
We should have an episode on
Okay.
Star Wars because there's a lot to unpack on Star
There's
Wars.
a lot
Yeah.
to dig into. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I watched the prequels when I was 6 years old, and I watched Spider-Man the trilogy when I was 6 years old. And now
Yeah.
that I am older, I appreciate the Raimi trilogy
I
way
appreciate
more.
how Raimi works.
Yeah, because Raimi is a director with his own style. Like you see,
He's a crazy man.
yeah. If you ever seen the Evil Dead movies, and you remember that scene from Spider-Man 2 where Doc Ock is attacking the nurses? That scene films from Evil Dead, and it's great. And I don't think you see that in the prequel trilogy, because George Lucas has only done Star Wars throughout his whole life. So
Yeah, there's this thing. I don't really like Episode 4 that much.
I can feel it.
Really?
Yeah.
I like episode 4 a lot.
I think it's very dumb at parts, and I think the acting is not that
Hmm.
great. I think,
It is a first film,
yeah, it's his first film.
and it does
No.
set the base.
It wasn't his first. It
And-
was his second film, actually.
Was it? Yeah, it was a second
Yeah.
film. But
American Graffiti
that's,
was his first.
Yeah.
that's true. That's true. I keep forgetting about that because I don't care about it. It does set the basis for what is to come, but it's nothing like what has come after.
Yeah,
Thinking
episode.
about Lucas isn't really that good of a director. What he is good at is world building.
He's
Yeah,
That's
very-
why
It does
Indiana
feel-
Jones. That's why Indiana Jones.
That's what I
works,
do
'cause
love
it's
about
Lucas world building,
prequels
combined with
especially.
Spielberg
Yeah, he's a
directing.
very good idea man. In most cases.
He's just not as great at executing, and as well as a lot of his ideas are terrible.
Yeah.
Part of the original trilogy was his vision, but filtered. You know,
Yeah, because he
'Cause-
had producers like telling him, I
Yeah.
don't think that won't work.
No, you're
Yeah,
stupid.
but in the
he had
prequels,
people to tell
he
him no.
yeah, in the prequels,
No,
he
'cause-
didn't have that. He was like,
No, 'cause
Exactly.
do
the
whatever you
original line
want.
was
So
The
By then
original line-
he was a legend. By then, everyone loved him. He just had free reign, and it didn't go too well.
the original line was "I love you, I love you too."
on
That,
episode
that's
5,
George Lucas.
yeah, and like
Yeah, that's George Lucas.
like the producers like really added
Bro.
to the whole subtext of the films when the prequels happened. That was all gone, and now the sequence trilogy, it feels so controlled that I don't like it.
It really does.
Yeah, I mean, especially with
You don't
episode
feel
7.
the same world building.
Yeah, episode 7 pretty much doesn't explore the Star Wars universe. It's pretty safe. Like,
I really think everything is too safe. It's being shackled down by the past.
yeah, and I think episode
far.
8 tried to change things up, and it just fell flat on its face. So
It tried to change things, but didn't do it well.
yeah,
I have something to say because I know how hyperdrives work. I have something to say about that ramming scene in an episode that we do.
Can
Because
we
it's
save that
not
for
as
a
bad as
different?
it seems.
This
Definitely.
This is
a
still
Spider-Man
Spider-Verse,
episode.
isn't it? Yeah.
We're just
Or
talking
I guess
about movies, man.
Prequel
That's our thing.
Spider-Man.
So my favorite part was how physics were wobbly. Well, not my favorite part, but I loved how physics were wobbly in the final fight, so that Miles always had the high ground.
I really like the animation in this film. I think it's incredible.
Kingpin completely
Yeah.
insisted that he underestimated his power. He was told not to try it, but he did anyway.
The animation is just such an important thing because it kind of justifies.
We can't
why
just not
CGI
touch
can
on
be
it.
Here.
We can't just not touch on it, but it's also the most intrinsic part of it. Everyone said it, and I want to get a bit more technical with it than you might normally
Hmm.
do, because people just say, "Oh, it's a gorgeous movie. I love the comic book aesthetic, etc."
Yeah.
But I really love how they emphasize with the glitching out, how reality is broken and things shouldn't be there.
Yeah.
And especially with
With the character designs, I think this
Yeah.
movie has pretty
color
strong-
color shows personality. The character designs themselves are extremely personal.
Yeah.
Especially how they change up Gwen's hairstyle even.
Yeah.
I mean, that kind of fits the character more than her actual comic hairstyle, in my opinion.
Because one thing with these character designs, I think they are very emblematic in a way, and they pretty much tell each Spider-Man's whole idea. Like you see normal
It's
Peter
strong
Parker.
silhouette.
Yeah, like you see normal
That's
Peter
a very important
Parker, and
part.
he's very heroic idea on Spider-Man that there is. And then you see Peter B. Parker, and he's more like he basically looks the same, but he looks older and he looks
Depressed.
in a way. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
Fat.
yeah, and Miles, he's so skinny, and he's in a way kind of fragile.
He said a perfect. He came here and he found out that he's apparently blonde and dead. A perfect universe.
Yeah. I mean, compared to other animation movies, like I don't know, Illumination.
Uh,
They have
the
like
Nah, I don't
they
want to talk
have
about that here.
yeah, they have pretty like other animation movies like The Boss Baby or um I don't know, like the Despicable Me movies. I don't think the character design
This movie
is
has
as attractive as this one.
extremely strong
Art
storyboarding
direction,
and
yeah,
keyframing.
it has excellent art direction.
Not just the art direction, but storyboarding and keyframing behind movement and planning of scene. And that's something that, dear God, the Berserk reboot does not have. Like the Berserk reboot,
Yeah.
the one that's completely CG.
Oh, it doesn't have
It has
like good framing or anything like that.
It doesn't have any storyboarding to it really.
Yeah.
It's just weak scenes.
Coupled
I've heard it
together.
touched on like when
Yeah.
you're animating in 3D, you still have to be thinking as from a 2D perspective.
I mean, it shows that how much care went into the overall art style of this film and the overall feel of this
How
film.
much sheer love went into it too.
Yeah, like I think
Especially all the activity on Twitter, the script being publicly released, people showing animation details on Twitter as well.
Yeah, that's great.
Specifically for certain scenes. It's so.
Yeah, and even
this was a movie with nothing but heart.
Yeah, and that really shows, and that's something you don't see very often in mainstream movies now.
It was truly a labor of love for at least most people working on it.
Yeah, and like, it really shows that people were fans and wanted to their best to honor the character.
And talented too.
Yeah, very talented.
You know what it kind of feels like? What? Sonic Mania.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like that.
Yes.
Yeah,
that is so it. And in my opinion, they low-key crafted a better version of Miles than the comics have.
Well, because in the comics, this is his entire thing, like how he feels like he's not worthy to succeed Peter Parker, and they kind of
being in his shadow, being like he was at the start, like with some major differences. He was at the start like young Peter Parker again, but black, just as a very raw way of looking at it. And he evolved over time for sure. You could see the differences and see him being himself instead. But this movie is like the culmination of what his character is.
Yeah, this movie right from the start, when we are introduced to Miles, like we can see that he's different from Peter in many ways.
Brian Michael Bendis is very good at writing young characters, but not that often do you get to see young characters grow up in a way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because doing it,
you can really see that here, and you can especially see it as well in like we're going to be expecting it in his Young Justice run, because that's like a lot of what happened. Younger characters dealing with adult themes.
Wait, he's writing the show?
No, he's writing the current comic run. They brought back Connor, man, and the comic run right now is really good too. It's just starting. Bendis writes young people, and he's really good at it. This is the culmination of all the work he put in. All the work all the artists put in, all the work that and how the publishing, everyone who loved the character coming together and making this representation of it, it's beautiful. I love it.
The other thing about this is what my mom told me she liked about the movie. Like, from what it looked like, there's this idea of everyone can wear the mask, obviously.
That is the best quote.
She thought all they were gonna do was it's like everyone can wear the mask because this time the Spider-Man's black. Which is kind of what the Ultimate Comics did, but no, it's not. Everyone can.
They wanted to put extra emphasis on that.
It can be. You could be like a 40-year-old man. You could be Japanese.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You could be a pig. You could be depressed. It doesn't matter. You can still be a hero.
You can be.
I feel like that. Yeah, I feel like that's really why Spider-Ham is just to hone in this idea that no matter what or who you are, you can be a hero, and it's a very powerful message.
Yeah, I don't know if many people after seeing the movie were just like, "Oh,
that's a quote straight from Stan Lee himself." I believe that was from a soapbox column. But yeah, he had said that one of his goals while creating Spider-Man as a character was to have a teenage hero dealing with everyday problems that people could easily relate to him, and he could hammer home the idea that anyone could wear the mask. And that really is the core focus of this film, and they say that even in the dedication to Stan Lee at the end.
Yeah, it was pretty nice that a movie of Spider-Man finally addressed that idea that anyone could wear the mask, because mostly it was just Peter Parker, and I mean,
Raimi gives you, with great power comes great responsibility.
Mark Webb gives you nothing.
Mark Webb gives you, your parents are secretly in a subway saving the world.
Conspiracy
and then
theory.
and then Homecoming was, you're just a kid. Like, that's Spider-Man. It emphasized the fact he's a kid, but this is the first one, that really does hone in the idea of the mask.
Wait, Mark Webb, was that the guy that did the
Amazing Spider-Man movies?
Amazing Trilogy?
The only reason they hired him
was because his name was Webb.
That's the only reason they hired him.
I really didn't care enough to look into that movie. I just didn't like it.
Like, I liked Amazing Spider-Man 1 about as much as I liked Man of Steel.
Okay, that's a pretty low bar. I thought I thought you were going to say.
I like Man of Steel more than most people.
Oh, really?
I think take the idea of a kid dealing with every life problems, and he's immediately a Chad that gets a girlfriend.
Yeah.
Within like the first half hour.
Like, oh look.
Oh, you know what the Amazing Spider-Man actually does the best?
The suit.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
I like Homecoming. It does Flash Gordon.
Let's turn everyone into lizards.
It's the only movie where Flash actually like starts to become friends with Peter, like he does in comics.
Yeah.
Wait,
he's a much more likable character.
Who are we talking
about? Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon? He wasn't only in the first one. He wasn't in the second one, I think.
You're talking about Flash Thompson?
Flash Thompson, yeah. Flash Gordon is the sci-fi.
Flash was only in the first Amazing Spider-Man. I don't remember him in that movie.
Yeah, but like he wasn't that.
One thing that I did like.
He wasn't that well written in the other the other trilogies. Like he wasn't that well written in the Raimi trilogy.
If you see the iconic scene at the end of Spider-Man 2 on the train, they kind of did it to a lesser degree, but I still liked it in Amazing Spider-Man with all the train operators lining up for him.
That was less. I thought that was more like that scene in Spider-Man 1. He's fighting the Green Goblin, and they throw the stuff off the bridge to him, and he's able to save both of those people.
That too.
There's always a scene where like everyone in the city helps Spider-Man
because he helps them.
Not in Homecoming. Homecoming, he's unknown, and that's great.
I want that.
Spider-Man is unknown in this one.
But then they won't do that in the next movie because he's not going to be in New York.
Oh no, he's going to be in France.
Far from home.
Yeah, I don't know.
At a European tour, and it's definitely at least partly in UK. I don't remember.
It's going to be in.
It's all over the place as far as I remember.
In Italy and everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It looks like it's retreading the responsibility idea again. It's Nick Fury telling him he needs to be Spider-Man right now. It's not just something you can take off.
Yeah.
And I look forward to that.
How do you guys feel going into Far From Home after Spider-Verse? Like, what are your expectations?
Not too high. Like Homecoming was a good movie. Way better than
Homecoming's a really
amazing.
It was like the episode 7 for Spider-Man movies in a way.
People argue that it is a bad Spider-Man movie, and I can't entirely disagree because it misses a lot of things
my
that
uncle's problem with the movie was kind of like, what does Peter actually learn in the movie?
Yeah.
Because, like, Tony Stark takes away his suit for being irresponsible. And the next thing he does is just jump at the Vulture, completely irresponsible, no plan. And he wins. Like,
maybe
he doesn't really learn anything.
Maybe it was to not rely so much on his suit, but I think that's a pretty weak motivation.
Yeah. Homecoming doesn't really have If anything, it's like, the best part about Homecoming is just the Vulture and his arc.
Yeah, the Vulture was good.
Vulture is amazing.
It did have kind of a Bendis feel, especially to the writing, though. Like you'd see in Young Miles.
Because they basically just took Ultimate Miles and made him Peter Parker.
Yeah, that's the thing. He originally kind of was Peter Parker in many ways.
I'm so high, I can feel heaven.
I mean, I don't know. With Far From Home,
heaven.
Nickelback. What?
Why are you listening to Nickelback?
Because they say that a hero.
Oh my!
Watch as we all. That's the best part of Spider-Man.
Is that the credit song from
you
Spider-Man?
ended off with you ended off with the perfect ending, and then Nickelback just starts
buried band in history.
It's magical. In the first line of the song is "I am so." That's the first line, and that's all the movie.
I'm swinging from this weed.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I like the music selection
I'm sorry for ruining this.
in Spider-Verse. The music selection in Spider-Verse really reflects.
Okay, so the thing is, I can't find the quote about everyone can wear the mask. I don't remember if he actually like specifically said that, or if it was just like a theme.
I think he said it in an interview.
I remember him.
Yeah, it might have been an interview
about how he knew he succeeded when he went to Japan, and there were a bunch of people like Spider-Man gear. Because that meant that people were identifying with Spider-Man there, even though Spider-Man's an American character.
Yes.
Yeah, it's in Japanese Spider-Man, like more tragic.
It's literally a Sentai.
Oh, really? I thought
he turns into a robot, doesn't he?
No, he has a 50-foot robot as his sidekick.
That's the quote.
We're going to put this in the episode.
Yeah, the episode. Yeah. But one thing I noticed from Spider-Verse is the music selection, because if you see the Raimi trilogy, like in Spider-Man 2, remember the scene when he lost his powers and he was walking down the street?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. While in Spider-Verse it's more like rap, and it's more street music that reflects Miles' personality.
Yeah.
In the Amazing Spider-Man movies, like you have these awkward music scenes or music montages that don't really serve a purpose. And aside from, I mean, yeah, the I am sad montage in Spider-Verse, I find it distracting, but it at least tried to serve a purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a nice distinction between the other Spider-Mans from Miles.
Yeah.
You know the best insert song in the movie? The best insert song in a movie is 2003 Daredevil, and then it's just suddenly Wake Me Up Inside.
Yeah.
Delicious. Have you watched Elektra?
No.
Spin-off. It's even worse.
Yeah.
Wake me up.
You know what?
Ben Affleck make a good Superman. Make a good superhero movie.
Superman is hard.
Not Superman, superhero movie.
I just wanted to say.
He's tried twice.
It's hard for many reasons.
Do you know what movie has a good song at the end?
Besides Spider-Man 1?
I got that. Eminem.
Yeah, it's Eminem rapping, and it's just like, bro.
Venom. It's a trip.
I am surprised that Venom came out 2 months before Spider-Verse. That movie is
okay. So anyone watching this video right now, I'm gonna have a link in the description to a better Venom film.
Upgrade. Upgrade is a movie that came out last year.
Actually, that sounds awesome. I didn't finish that video.
No?
Yeah, I'm talking about Truth in Journalism. It's a short film by Joe Lynch. It's about Eddie Brock. It stars Eddie Brock. Like they're him with a film crew, and it's 17 minutes. It's really good. It's a much better Venom film.
Yeah, I'm sure of it.
Digs down
because making something that Venom isn't really that hard. But, did you all see Venom?
No.
No, you haven't seen Venom.
I didn't end up completing it.
No.
I had to go early. Honestly,
I saw it last week, and I was blown away that a movie like Venom was made in 2018. How?
That was me when I watched. It's like
It's like the whole movie was the last fight scene from Black Panther. That's how the CG was.
No, it's not a complaint about the CG. The story itself.
I know. I'm just saying. Yeah, it was hard to see.
Yeah, the story itself was like a Daredevil type of movie, like 2003 Daredevil. 2000s superhero movies before the MCU, with the exception of X-Men and
Not
Spider-Man.
gonna lie, the Fantastic Four films, I like the first one. I like it a lot.
I've heard someone say, like, they said it like this, like, if the first Fantastic Four movie was a TV pilot, it would be more funly.
Yeah.
But I do
it's
remember,
pretty poop, but I love it so much.
I do remember the Silver Surfer one, because they changed powers.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, it's so dumb though.
Like, okay.
It's funny how both Fantastic Four franchises have ended up having one of their actors go to the MCU and being super popular.
Oh, yeah.
The first one had Chris Evans, and the second one had Killmonger.
Yeah.
God, please. give me a Fantastic Four movie. I
think-
want a good Fantastic Four movie.
There's that theory that
can't
they
just love
sold
being
that
poo-poo.
the Avengers Tower is vacant, so the Fantastic Four are in now.
That would be cool.
That's a Stark-owned property, dude.
What
He
if,
sold it.
What if in Endgame?
You're right.
What if in Endgame, like Spider,
That's the post-credit scene.
Stark receives like a call, like, oh yeah,
Bro,
this
I
man.
would...
Yeah.
Bro.
Oh.
I want to talk to you! I don't know, something. But, like, Fantastic Four is one of the most awesome things. And if they can pull it off in a way that I can love unironically for being a good movie, then I'll be very happy! For example, like, I'd love to see their first movie, for example, be Super Skrull.
like the villain?
Skrulls have been... Yeah.
Like,
Skrulls have been
They're
established.
building that for Captain Marvel too. So possible.
Well, Super Skrull is not going to be in there.
Yeah, I know, because the Super Skrull is all four of them combined.
Yeah.
Hey,
But-
remember when they put the Super Skrull in Marvel Capcom 3, but not any of the other?
and then
When Broly.
It really is a good game, though.
I played the second one. It was great. It was great fun.
It's a good game, but it's not a Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Nah, not really.
And
That's
then
kind of like comparing Street Fighter 4 to Street Fighter.
Yeah.
Marvel
Street Fighter 4 is really good, though. Honestly,
Hmm.
Street Fighter 4 is the Smash Ultimate of Street Fighter.
Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Super Smash Bros.
I
Ultimate
get
is
it.
where Smash Bros. Game if you like casual play and you have no friends. So basically, Zen.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is not Ultimate. I saw like a video title.
It's not ultimate.
It's special. No, because it's special because the Japanese title is special because
Yeah.
it's like
Oh, it's
it's
special.
special game
alright.
for having all the characters. That's what makes it special, but it's not like the Ultimate Smash Bros.
Daddy Sakurai says I'm special.
Do an episode on how localized titles suck in some.
Yes,
Times.
please. That'd be
I
fun.
want to rant about the title of Fire Emblem. It's for 20 minutes.
Fire Emblem. If- what
Yeah,
if
because
what if you wanted to go to heaven, but God said
But God said you
no,
were
what
the
if you
ocean
wanted to go to
grave.
heaven, but then America decided you were fated to go to hell. That's how bad the title is.
Thank you, Treehouse. Very cool.
What's the
Makes
name
me-
of Awakening?
no. What if you wanted to go to heaven, but God
The
said
name of
groans
awakening in
increasing
Japanese,
discomfort.
get this, it's awakening. Like it should be.
Oh, cool. And what's
Well,
the name
like-
of Three Houses?
It's like 3 something still. It makes sense though. It's not like you completely get the title wrong.
Like, what if we change the title? Ooh.
Okay, but like, I first of all I got this. The it's a
Gross of this. I love that scene so much for all the wrong
I know.
reasons.
I like the music.
I also love this image. Discomfort.
The
You can see
progress.
that each Garen is increasingly discomfort.
Like,
Divine.
is this conquest? No, it's
For some reason, while searching groans of increasing discomfort, I saw this in the Google search, like up top.
Daddy. This is
Hey,
Saber, right? This guy was
Yeah.
Saber, not the girl from Fate.
Not
She
the
still
girl
needs
from
to
Fate,
play
or the girl from
like,
Fate, or the girl
you
from
still need
Fate,
a
or the
female,
guy
don't
from
you?
Fate, or the guy from Fate, or the girl from Fate, or the other girl from Fate, or the guy from Fate.
Yeah. Not to be confused with Fire Emblem Fates. Fate Zero.
Fate.
Oh my god. Whack! Lights MH is basic and uncultured because she likes Saber.
Okay.
Who likes Saber?
Saber is cool.
Besides Jenny, who likes Saber? Oh, that's Saber. Sorry.
Yeah.
Did
That's
you
right.
talk Saber
I forgot
Echoes?
about that Saber.
We forgot we were talking
Yeah.
about Fate. I was already talking about Smash and then Fate in a Spider-Man video. This is how we roll. This is how we
Okay.
roll, chat.
It's time to
Jesus
wrap
Christ.
it up. Okay, so
I'd like to. You have your closing statements, and I'd like to end this with a dedication.
Mega, wouldn't you recommend Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse?
Yes, I think.
I would recommend it to. Sorry, I'm stealing your.
Yeah, because it's like you know, like the feel like you know the how like the US Congress selects like
Yeah.
U.S. Congress selects.
You
Like,
ever had a dream that you?
that you had.
No, go on, Mega. Sorry.
so like the U.S. Congress, they like select like 10 films like
What?
every decade to preserve because they're culturally significant. Like
Yeah. So you
like
can
if the apocalypse happens, we need to make sure that we have copies of.
Spider.
I feel like Spider-Verse is one of those movies just because of how it redefines animation and what you need to do with it to make a truly great film.
Yeah.
And that's what I value the most in Spider-Verse. It like
It really, a lot of it really
it's
is
the
a,
justification CGI needs to exist in a world with both 2D animation and live action. It shows like why the medium can stand away from other things.
Yeah, like, this is the thing that I have where I prefer like animation to live action most of the time because of how creative it can be, and I do agree that could be one of their films. Genuinely a really amazing film, and it's a great snapshot at current pop culture and
yeah.
continues
I,
a
I,
legacy that's been going on for 60 years.
I think this movie is going to become a classic in the next 20 years.
I hope it does. I really do.
Like people are going to
Honestly, it deserves to be.
it's like this one movie that stands out in this era of superhero movies. Like this one really feels different in many ways.
Yes.
Hmm.
It's what a superhero movie should be about.
Yeah.
About the characters. The best superhero stories that you'll see, for example, Demon in a Bottle, for example, with Iron Man. It's about the characters and their struggles rather than being directly about conflict. Conflict could still be there, but that's not what it's about. The best stories are personal.
The core of the characters. I agree.
Ideologies clashing sometimes.
So,
Any closing thoughts? Any closing thoughts from you, JB? Can we put that in post instead?
In the
It's only activating the microphone sometimes. I really don't like it.
Yeah, I can put it in
Can
post.
we do that in post?
Yeah, I can do that in
Hero
post.
by Nickelback.
My closing thoughts on the film. I think it's great. I think the animation really sells this movie, and I think if you are an animation fan or even a Spider-Man fan, I think you are like obligated to see this film because like it shows, like Mega was saying, how the medium can really be used to its full potential, and how Spider-Man can work in so many different ways, and how he can basically encapsulate this idea that anyone can wear the mask. Yeah, I think it's a great movie. I would definitely recommend it.
I'd say if you're a fan, for my closing thoughts, I'd say if you're a fan of any animation,
Yeah,
this is definitely something for you to watch. If you're a fan of films, might still really enjoy this movie. There's something for all kinds of people, rather even much more than just recognition of characters and seeing them all together on the big screen. It's expressive, it's personal, it's well condensed into a wonderful experience that's fun to watch and is also surprisingly emotional for a tale that is rated PG, and in the themes it does carry with it. Even so, even Peter B. Parker being suicidal, for example, it carries. There's a lot of weight in this movie that a lot of times animation these days, especially, is kids shows, cheap kids shows, and there's a lot that you don't see as often as you should. This is a shining star for animation, and I would like to close this out now. Just last year, Steve Ditko and Stan Lee both passed away, the co-creators of Spider-Man, and they were legends, pretty much, in the comics landscape for what they had done. And Stan Lee especially became worldwide celebrity for the messages that he did put out on Stan's Soapbox, for example, and the ideas that he put forth. And I'd like to put this up as well. And as they did for the movie as well, I'd like to dedicate our episode to them in respect for the legacy that they carry.
Are you crying?
No.
Yeah,
I'm trying to deliver what I want to say right.
yeah. No, it really is
Yeah.
important to like remember these people that have pretty much
These
defined.
characters that they created and the messages that they tried to put forth with these stories, it's been important to so many people. It's intrinsic to a lot of our lives for all these years.
Yeah, it defined our generation with this Raimi trilogy. I think we all grew up watching that, and I think they pass a great.
I knew who Spider-Man was before I saw a movie.
Yeah, the great funness of reading the comics and seeing all.
Before coming into contact with Spider-Man media, I already had a Spider-Man toy. He's a cultural icon.
Yeah, and how this movie Spider-Verse is going to define what many kids now might think of icons like Spider-Man in the future.
And honestly, Miles is a good role model as well.
Because he actually has to go through stakes. There are stakes in this movie.
A lot.
Yeah, they don't play around like, oh, maybe nothing bad will happen.
They don't mess around like Homecoming with just, is he gonna sell weapons?
I like that aspect.
There's a direct threat.
Yeah, but in Homecoming I think that
there's
that aspect was
loss and there's sacrifice and real adult themes. And it's a great movie.
Yeah, so
that's all I have to say on the subject.
I think this is a wrap, and
Hang on, don't stop recording.
No.
No.
Not yet.
Post credits soon. Ready, set, go.
Why are you pointing at me? I'm the real Spider-Man.
No, I'm the Spider-Man. Stop pointing at me.
No, me, bruh.
Me.
No, me. I'm Spider-Man, bro.
I'm
Stop pointing at
Spider-Man.
me.
Stop pointing at me.
Why are you pointing at me? I'm Spider-Man. Well, you're not Spider-Man. You're pointing at me, bro.
Stop pointing at me. I'm Spider-Man.
This bit sucks.
And that's a wrap.
Yeah, that's a wrap. Thank you everyone for listening. I hope you guys didn't think this was too cringy or too boring.
A lot of it probably was.
Yeah, but who cares? I mean, it's our first episode.
This is us. This is just chill. We're hanging around. We're still finding our style.
So yeah, it was great.
Thank you for dealing with us and hopefully making it to the end for
An hour.
more meaningful comments.
Okay.
Alright.
Bye.
Later.